out here after 30 years, yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Becky Pam, man. Much love, much respect. Appreciate the love, man. I appreciate all the support. We rocking, we rolling. We almost at 50K. We ain't quite there, but we working on it. So we just gonna keep on pushing. Tell a friend, man, to go hit that button and subscribe and come over here and rock with us. TBP, stand up, man. Spread the word. I need y'all to subscribe. I need y'all to like. I need y'all to share these videos, man, and keep on making your comments. As I said, this moves the videos around in the algorithm, man. It gives us a better chance to be, you know, bigger and to spread far and wide and get this message across, man. This positive energy, these good prison stories, man. Somebody might listen to these stories and learn something from it and keep them from making a bad mistake like I did or making the wrong turn. So that's what we want to do. We want to get bigger. We want to get larger. And in order to do that, we got to subscribe. We got to like. We got to share these videos. We got to talk about it and put it out there in the universe. It's going to happen. Ain't no doubt in my mind. Appreciate y'all. So at the beginning of this video, just go ahead on and check the status and make sure you already subscribed. If you ain't, hit the button and then go ahead and like this video because it's going to be a crazy one, man. This just was brought up by one of y'all comments. That's why I say I read the comments. One of y'all comments was asking me about people escaping or trying to escape or whatnot, and it just reminded me of, I know a couple of incidents of this type of question right here. So what I thought about first is the story I'm going to try to share with y'all now is when I was on Mecklenburg, right? I remember being on Mecklenburg, like I said, I was there in the early 90s, and you know, Mecklenburg was the big boy camp. That was the camp, man, where they had all the foolishness going on, or everybody that they considered that was, you know, a threat or that was dangerous in the system. They had them on Mecklenburg because that was the, you know, Wallace Ridge of Red Onion of the time, you know. So everybody went there. They housed the out of control inmates per se and death row. So I think it was only 350 population on the whole institution. So my time on Mecklenburg, man, you know, I spent most of my time on Mecklenburg really, when I look back on it now, just most of it was gambling. I was in my gambling stage then. I played poker a lot. You know, I played skiing, but it was mostly poker, you know, or shooting dice. But they shot dice, you know, few and far in between up there. But if they did, I probably was in the game. And always played poker when they played poker. They had a good little poker community up there. What I mean by poker community is regular average players that always play. You know, they're going to show up every day. You know, sometimes we played all day long. I mean, every time the doors open, we go out and play poker. You know, so it was like that on there during that time. And I think, like I say, I was in that mode of playing poker. And that's how I spent my time mostly on there. Either poker or working out was what I was doing during that time on Mecklenburg. But like I said, I met a lot of characters on Mecklenburg, a lot of characters that I done introduce y'all to, a lot more that I'm going to introduce y'all to in the future. You know, yeah, Bo Billy, you know, he's from Mecklenburg up there. Shorty Pimp, Shorty Sights, Stacy Perry, Dexter Perry, you know, all these, Pinky, Cupcake. I got a story coming up about him. Don't let the name fool you. It's a lot of dudes, man. Just a lot of George McGee, Big Bo Dixon. Just a lot of dudes that was on there that, you know, names end up, you know, being known throughout the penitentiary. You know, Riverboat, George Lee Flight. Yeah, all these names is just popping in my head as I'm telling these stories, right? But, you know, it just was, like I say, it was a different time during this time and era, and you knew who was who. You knew what was what when you was on these type of penitentiaries. It won't know a whole lot of faking going on. Everybody here was known. Everybody here had a name to some extent, and everybody here was respected to some extent. Some more than others, but everybody had some type of respect on this institution because, like I said, it was a criteria to get there, and everybody know how you got there. So it had to be some type of act of violence, some type of act of defiance against either another convict or either the administration. So this was the criteria to get on Mecklenburg back in the day. So like I say, it was a level of respect amongst each other as well as through the officers. Everybody, the bar was understood, as they say. Everybody knew what was what, and they carried it as such. Like I say, it was a lot of basketball and stuff being played on there too. We played basketball up there a lot. It was a small institution, but the basketball thing was big in there. Most of the time when you get on a lot of institutions, sports is real big, man. Sports is real big, and some dudes get false respect. They get respect because they could be, man, they could be some doo-doo, in all aspects of life, but being that they was good at sports, people give them some type of respect, give them some type of love, man, just because they was good at sports. I never really understood that dynamic, but that's just how it went. But yeah, you had some balling cats on there, man. You really had some balling dudes on that joint that I can remember that was really, really good. But like I say, you still dealing with that element of danger on there. Because like I say, something can jump off at any time and you never know when it might be or who it might be. So you always had to be on your P's and Q's. And you might see anything on there. I brought y'all the story about that when Bo Billy robbed the poker game. That was on Mecklenburg. I brought y'all the story about Tink when Tink almost killed a dude out there where me and Stacey Perry was, making wagers on whether the dude was going to live or not. That was on Mecklenburg. And there's some other incidents that occurred on there that I may tell you about. Gangsta Slim. Gangsta Slim come from Mecklenburg. Gangsta Slim is legendary on Mecklenburg. Mark Peace, Mecklenburg. A hitman, Anthony Graham, Mecklenburg. All of these cats come off of that Mecklenburg boat, man. So, this is where I was growing up in the penitentiary. This is when I was learning more about the penitentiary. This is when I was, making my mark to who I was going to be in the penitentiary and, how I was going to carry the rest of my bit. A lot of these ideologies and mindsets was formed right there on Mecklenburg. Because you got to remember on Mecklenburg, you're talking about in the early 90s, I'm still fresh in my bit. I'm coming in prison in 87. So you're talking 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. I'm within anywhere from 5 to 7 years of my sentence. So everything is still new to me. Everything is still, a learning process. And I'm just right now riding off of raw energy and just pure heart. Only thing I know is whatever come my way, I just try to deal with it emphatically and immediately. And that's all I knew. But I had to learn the politics about prison, how to maneuver, how to deal with certain situations, how not to overreact, how not to underreact. All of these things is things you learn as you do more and more time and be around more and more people and see more and more situations. So this is at the point that I was at during this time of my bit. I was still in the learning process, right? So I can remember being on this jump, man, and we was out there. A lot of times you go to the rec yard, you go to the big rec yard on Mecklenburg. When you come out of the building, depending upon what building you was in, you come out, you already on a small rec yard. Sometimes they have rec right there, that's the only place you could go. But a lot of times they might have it right there and they also have it on the big yard. The big yard won't no bigger than a football field on Mecklenburg. It's a very small institution. So even in the blocks, most blocks on regular institutions, you got 80 people in there or better. Mecklenburg only had 12 people in the block. That's how small it was. That's how exclusive it was. Only 12 people, and every cell in there was single cell. They won't housing you with nobody on Mecklenburg. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a good idea. And like I say, people was already there under different circumstances. So you did get your single cell, and you was in a smaller environment. And I think the smaller environment was more so they could control the situation. If anything ever got out of hand, they know at the most they only had to deal with 12 people as opposed to another institution. If something broke out, they got to deal with 80-something people, especially if it's a riot type situation or it's some type of gang type situation nowadays. that, you know, you're going to have to deal with 80-something people in a block if the doors is open. But on a smaller place like Mecklenburg, you only had 12 people. That's all you really had to deal with. So, like I said, being on there and having the single cell and everything like that was, you know, getting me set in my ways of how I was going to do my time and understanding how time was being done. But I was like I said, I was in the basketball a lot during that time and gambling at that time. So those are the scenes that I'm around. A lot of other stuff going on too, but those are the scenes that I'm around, either working out or gambling. But like I said, on that backyard over there by the basketball court where we go out there to play ball at, and I was playing ball back then. You know, I wasn't one of the better dudes, but I was enough that I can get on that court and I get the job done. You leave me alone, and that money good. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things happen on that basketball court, though. That's where it went down, because once the officers bring you out there and they leave, then anybody got beef, they settle it right there. They wait till the police out the way. It could be knife play. Dudes could be had that Bethlehem out there trying to take each other head off. They could go one-on-one. It'd be like some medieval stuff. You might have dudes out there straight up. I done seen it. I told y'all with the Tink incident and other incidents, I have seen it. Dudes actually, it's like a duel, like some medieval stuff. Man, you got your knife? Yeah, I got mine. And they sitting there actually knife fight, you know, and trying to kill each other. So, you know, this is things that become normal to you after a while in prison. You've seen it so much now, you desensitized to it. But around this time, I'm new to it. So when I'm seeing all of this stuff, like I say, it's shaping my mind. It's shaping my thought process. It's shaping the way that I feel like I'm going to have to do time. You know, thus the way I end up doing time. Because these are the things that I experienced in my earlier years of being in prison, you know. And I can remember seeing knife fights out there, man, and straight up fist fights, man, to dudes, I'm talking about get beat unconscious, beat down. I mean, so bad that they incapacitated, and if don't nobody stop them, they literally get beat to death. Dudes had to say, hey, that's enough, man. He had enough. Leave him alone. I mean, unconscious, not moving at all, or just shaking and spazzing, just laid out on the concrete in a pool of blood. And they got to wait there until an officer come and get them, or until they notice that something is wrong. You know, so these are situations that you in when you trapped in that fence and the doors is, and the gates is locked and you got barbed wire all around the fence. You can't get out. So once you go in there, we used to literally say it's a death trap. If you're not prepared for war and somebody bring war to you while you in there, it's a death trap, because you cannot get out. You cannot get out. And the police is gone, and the only way they're going to get there is by the person in the tower calling some type of code after she sees something or he sees something on the yard occurring, and call a code. And when they call that code, then the officer's going to have to come there, and when they get there, they're going to have to open the gate, come in. Anything, it's just too much time going to elapse for if you're depending on them to save your life. Entirely too much time is going to elapse if you're depending on them to save your life. Therefore, you already being, you know, brainwashed into knowing that you're going to have to save your own life. You already being conditioned to know that, you know, you on your own. Ain't no help coming. So if you know these things, you have to prepare for these things. So 9 times out of 10, even though we get pat down and shook down when we come out here to this yard, man, 9 times out of 10, everybody out there got something. Everybody out there got that Bethlehem on them one way or another. They got it hid in a certain way, and their clothes, on their person, is there. In their shoe, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like American Express. You don't want to leave the cell without it, because you never know what might happen. And you have to be able to even the odds up of what's coming against you, because you never know what's coming up against you. So you have to be prepared at all times, man. And that's how it was going down on Mecklenburg. So like I say, I was learning these lessons early. There was valuable lessons for me. There was lessons that was actually needed for me for the journey that was ahead of me. So, you know, but back to that yard, I can remember being on that yard, man, and it was just so crazy, because like I say, you see so many things out there, fights, stabbings, dudes getting double banked, dudes getting hit with weights. I mean, all types of situations going on out there. So I can remember this one incident, man, where we out there, we just straight chilling, and everybody is, you always on point. You always looking around, and I do, and most people do on there, just checking out your surroundings and seeing what's going on around you. And I can remember this day in particular, man, these white dudes was out there, man, and they was over in the corner and they was looking all suspicious. So dudes ain't know whether they had beef, whether they was getting ready to do something, or what was going on. Yeah, everybody knew something was going on with these cats, because when you've been locked up enough time, you can see the way people move, the way they dress, the way their demeanor is, the way they act. And they was acting a little bit too suspicious, which puts dudes on alert. And even if you won't hip to it, somebody else might have pulled your coat. Yo, the white dudes over there, man, yeah, they got something going down, man. Be on point, stay on point. Stuff like that would go on. So dudes don't know, like I say, they might be getting ready to make a move. They might, anything can happen. 9 times out of 10, some white dudes ain't gonna pull no move out there with all the brothers out there like that, even if it's if they got beef. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't gonna turn out good. It definitely is not gonna turn out good for them, no matter what the situation is. It's just reality because of the dynamics of what's out there. So, but definitely, like I say, something was going on, something was amiss, and you could see it. And showing up, man, when the officers was gone, and after they had left for a while, you see them start moving and scrambling around over there. And they start wrapping their arms up in ace bandages and stuff. And when you start wrapping your arm up in ace bandages, one or two things. Either you get ready to go to war with somebody and you trying to protect yourself, for saying getting cut or whatever, because dudes be having sharp razors and whatnot. Dudes be having them Bethlehems just so sharp, man, it's like razor blades. They slice right through your bone. So either it was that, or either these dudes get ready to, hit the fence or something, or mess with this barbed wire or something. You know what I'm saying? Because you done had that happen too. That's another story I'm going to tell y'all about. One time when I seen a dude go across the fence and run to attack another inmate. So, yeah, I'm going to tell y'all that. Y'all got to remind me in the comments. But anyway, yeah, so dudes start now, they went from playing basketball to playing cards to working out to dudes is now, half stepping because they watching these cats because you don't know what might pop off. And sure as I don't know what, man, just like that, man, it ain't take but a second. They looking around, they talking, they get to whispering with each other, and then the next thing you know, you look and boom, man, them jokers is hitting the fence.
The bacon special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young.
I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.